It has not been the start that Wayne Rooney wanted at Birmingham City. 4 games, 1 point, lots of goals shipped, and still doesn't know his best side. Let's get Adam's views on it all. Good evening, Adam.
Good evening. Good
Um,
evening.
there are still John Eustace fans that hate this appointment. You've been singing the Rooney hymn sheet for a while now. What have you seen in the recent games which gives you greater confidence that this is a good appointment?
I think I'm singing it because you have to back the man in charge who's there at the time. I wasn't Eustace's greatest fan anyway, so I wasn't too bothered when he went. But I've seen a huge improvement against a very good Ipswich side. I think we made them look poor for probably 70 minutes, 65 minutes, 70 minutes, and then you could see that the high press football was taking its toll on the players, and he had to make changes. Unfortunately, again, what I keep repeating, we haven't got a squad big enough to do the style that he's trying to do. And he brought on some players, and they're just not good enough. Some of them are League One players, not good enough, and hence we went and conceded 2 goals in the last 10 minutes and drew the game.
Is it a fitness thing that, because like you said, for 70 minutes he looked really good, but the system he's trying to play is just these players aren't used to it.
I think it's yeah, some of it's fitness, but some of it's just some of these players just aren't good enough. They're just your Mark Roberts, your Djukovic's, even the young lad Longhetto, who's I think 4 goals now in the last 3 games have been from him. Teams are knowing what to do. Just target the left back, and you'll get in very easily.
Yeah. Does it feel to you like we're getting closer to the day when Rooney names an unchanged Birmingham lineup? Because I think what I read anyway, and you listen to people in terraces and the pubs talk about it, is there frustration that there's too much chopping and changing. We understand he's trying to find his best team, but you had a good team before, didn't you? It was doing all right.
It's doing all right. It was doing all right. Let's not get carried away with it. I know on paper, when we sacked Eustace, we were sitting 6th in the league, but we never won a game in September. And no one knows about that. No, it was not on any sort of social media. It weren't on Sky. I mean, Rooney loses 2 games and he's getting Sky interviews. So look at the attention and hype that he's bringing now to the club that Eustace didn't bring. I think the last end of last season, I think 21 games. I think we won 6. Again, that's not good. That's not an amazing record. Some of the games that Eustace won early on in this season, very lucky. Leeds at home, Plymouth at home, 2 very fluky wins. Even probably the Baggies game was a little bit fluky in terms of the ref giving that real dodgy penalty. So I don't see the hype over the meltdown, to be honest, of why we've sacked Eustace. I know some fans are going on like we've just sacked Pep Guardiola or something. It's ridiculous. It really is.
He started 18 different players in his first 4 matches, and in each game has made a minimum of 3 changes. Are we going to see against Sunderland then this weekend coming up, which is the game we're previewing in another video? Are we going to see a more settled side now? Do you think he's worked out who needs to sit on that bench and who needs to be in his starting lineup?
I think we're getting close to it because, I think he's making on average around 3-4 changes a game, hasn't he, so far? So I think we are getting close to it. Because like I say, for 70 minutes, you couldn't really fault that football that we were playing against Ipswich. Again, it's the bench that let us down that day. I don't think there'll be many changes, providing we haven't picked up an injury or 2. But let's see.
The one player that has to get that side is Jay Stansfield. Just talk to us about what he does for your side. I mean, without him,
we don't score. It's that simple, because the other 2 up front, the 2 donkeys in Djukovic and Hogan, that they don't know where the back of the net is. But I think there's people like Ethan Laird as well at right back. Since Rooney's walked for the door, he hasn't had the best right back we've got at the club. He still hasn't seen the best left back we've got at the club. Laird come back in against Ipswich and just basically transformed our back 4. Again, the minute we took him off, we looked lost again after 70 minutes. So it's getting close to what he wants to do. I think we've got an international break coming up, I think, shortly. So I think the left back's back as well as Laird. So I think we'll start to see a more settled side then. I think he's getting close to what he knows is his best starting 11 for the style of football he wants to play.
Yeah, and then just to add Oliver Burke, who in the Ipswich game, I think was paired with Stansford, wasn't he, in the 4-2-2 formation. Is that something you'd like to see more going forward?
Yeah, because I think he just offers a bit of, again, I don't think he's technically that great, but I think he does offer blistering pace. And he's got a bit of strength about him by the looks of it. But I still think we desperately need another striker through the door in January. I think that's got to be number one in January. But yeah, I'd definitely put him in over Djukovic or Hogan. Definitely. Just offers something for the way Rooney wants to play.
Yeah, absolutely. The fixtures when you return after the international break are a lot kinder as well. So home games against Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham, then Leicester, and then Bristol City. So those 4 home games, 3 of them are entirely winnable, aren't they?
Well, yeah, and obviously the Leicester one's got a bit of spice to it with the Rooney-Vardy situation. But yeah, you'd like to think he'd get some good points on the board there. I did say when he walked in, the fixture list has been massively unkind to him. You know, no manager could have probably walked in and took over and got much out of these games. So I'm nowhere near thinking it's a bad appointment at the minute. I'm still Rooneying.
I'm just going to shout out Jack Burke on Twitter, BCFC Burke, who said after the Ipswich game, why is Eustace still being mentioned after that performance? That first 70 minutes was a joy to watch. If we are fitter, we see out the 90 and win 2-0. We are seeing an improvement after 3 weeks. Imagine after 3 months. I can't wait up the Blues. Subscribe to that view?
Yeah, it's what I've been shouting since Rooney walked through the door. You know, he was never going to get his style of play over to the players and over to the pitch within a week or 2 weeks worth of training. And again, like I've always said, some of these players aren't good enough. They're League One players. So until we've got a few of them out the door and he's brought in his players to match his style, we're not going to truly get the Rooney football that we're hoping to see. But he's doing the other things that the club wanting out of him. He's bringing a lot of media attention, good and bad, because obviously, you know, when we're losing 3 on the trot, we get a lot of negative media attention. But we win a couple, and I think we'll be plastered everywhere, hopefully, and that's what we want.
Yeah, I think Birmingham are on TV more than Everton in December because you've got, I think, 6 of the first 11 Rooney games are on Sky, having just seen the...
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. And this is what I keep saying.
Sorry.
This is what I keep saying. Like I've had a few Villa friends keep messaging every time we lose about Rooney, and I'm like, we lost every game in September. You never said anything. So this is the media attention he's bringing to us. That it's massive. Like we have to, and that's what these owners are trying to do. They're trying to get more attention to the club, bring in more money, ease financial fair play, allow us to spend and get up the league. We're not going to get up this league without playing football. It's the first thing Rooney walked in the door and said, we're going to have to play football, and I want to play football. And all the teams that have been promoted in the last couple of years, you look at your Burnleys, your Sheffield Uniteds, when Brentford went up, Leicester, Leeds are doing it this season. They play football. They don't just get your centre half to lump it 60 yards up the pitch and try and scrap off something from there. They play football, and you can see that's what he's trying to do. I think once he's got a few players in, I think we could be a good team. But let him do it. Give him time.
Would you take 12th place now?
Yeah. I do. I would. I think this season, forget league position this season. You know, even if we finish 16th, you know, I know 18th again would probably bring a lot of negativity, but he's had no pre-season. He's got to shift a lot of players out still. There's a lot of players got 6 months left on their contract. No one's going to want them or try and get them in January, so we're stuck with them till the end of the season. Financial fair play is still a bit of an issue for us, so we're not going to bring in 5, 6, 7 players in January. It'll probably be 2, maybe 3 at most, and then we get ready for the summer, and then we go next year. I think will be the exciting time next year.
Right, nice one. If you disagree with anything that Adam has said, which lots of you have done on previous videos, please put a comment down there below. And don't forget, you can subscribe to the podcast, which Adam joins us weekly to preview all the games. Thanks, Adam. We'll get you on the Sunderland review in a second. Cheers for joining us, and we'll probably catch up in another month's time where hopefully more points on the board.
Hopefully.
Cheers, Adam.
Cheers.